Well, all right, here we are. Once
All
again,
right.
it's Wednesday afternoon, early evening, late evening, middle of the night. It just depends on where you're at, right? But it's definitely Wednesday, so that means it's time for the Shower Door Pros live here, the Facebook group, Shower Door Pros. And we've already been here for a few minutes, starting to chat a little bit. Thought I'd invite the rest of y'all to come on in and listen in to our conversation. Hope you're not easily offended because these guys are a bunch of glazers and stuff. You just never know what someone might say. And you never know who will show up. Oh, here's Shannon. Everybody be on your best behavior. Speaking of that. But anyway, welcome aboard. And hey, like I said, we were just chatting a little bit. Adrian had a question about kind of just productivity and how many shower enclosures on average do people get done in a day? And I guess that kind of depends on the size of your crews, the number of crews you have, and other various factors. But generally speaking, he was just kind of wondering, how many shower doors do you do in a day?
Sure.
Me, I aim for one. I aim for one. Sometimes I'll do two. Sometimes I have a home, it's got like 2 or 3, 4 showers going in, that house at the same time. So then I have to kind of get up a little early and maybe work through lunch or something. But generally I don't work that hard. Just being honest. What about the rest of you?
I don't do showers every day, so I usually end up doing one in a day, just because that's how it works out. Mm-hmm. I'm still building up the shower business, so I do a lot of insulated glass as well, plus estimates. So it just ends up being a mix for me.
Yeah. For me, it's like I'm a one-man operation over here. Of course, I've got my wife too, so it's not just one man. It's like one man and one woman. So it's like I have other things to do besides just install shower doors. I know that kind of sounds probably funny to people, but yeah, I've got all of the estimating and ordering and measuring and sales and sweeping the floors and moving glass around. I've got all of that to do myself. So
I got my son doing that.
Yeah, so if I can, I try to get my wife to do it. It's hard to get her to do stuff, but
it's too easy for her, Chris.
I know, man. But if I can do one installation a day and then all that other stuff, I'm pretty productive. And like one shower enclosure might be a single frameless door, or it might be a pretty big 4-panel thing, so it averages out pretty well. Oh yeah.
One of the things I see is I see posted, like somebody posted today, that they put in a door inline panel and a return panel using channel, and they were done in an hour.
Yeah, right.
Define an hour. Is that, now they said that they had cut the channel at the shop, but does that include carrying everything in, carrying everything out? It takes time to carry all that stuff in, unpack all the hardware, and clean the glass. So what exactly is included in that hour? Corner showers take a long time, at least for me. They do.
Well, for me on a corner unit, depending what I'm drilling into, like a lot of lately, I don't know what it is, but thank God, I've been running into a lot of people that I'm drilling into quartz. And that stuff is like, it's easy to drill into. So it's pretty, it's in and out like that. So sometimes on a corner unit, I get done maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. I don't rush through nothing though. Some of these guys, they like to rush through it. Hey, an hour, I go for it. That's where you get your mistakes. That's where you get a bunch of callbacks, I think, for just rushing through it. But yeah, I'm like an hour and a half, 2 hour, maybe 3-ish, depending. How if I got to go upstairs, downstairs, I don't know. It all depends, because I think a lot with me when I go do a shower, I don't care what it is. I have a big old bag that has all my tools, and I have my blocks, and then and the rest of my stuff too.
You know what, Brian? There's a whole segment of folks that I've seen over there that they like to talk about how they do it so quickly. I think it's legitimate to consider time, because obviously you can't spend all day just on a door and a panel. However, I think quality is what you have to focus on. And it doesn't matter if that door notched inline and return takes 3 hours. When you're done and you're not, you're pretty confident, the customer's happy. If you can get one of them in and fill your day in with, maybe another shower or some of the other work that you do, I think quality is the overriding factor. There was a period of time when I would look at those timeframes and say, how can you possibly do what you're saying you're doing in an hour, 2 hours? I've been on too many of these installs, and I think either somebody's fabricating some time, but I think you need to focus on quality in your operation, not what these other guys are doing and saying an hour.
And that's kind of what I was getting at, because I don't see how it's possible. Now, I haven't done as many showers as a lot of you guys, but I don't see how it's possible to do a 3-panel corner shower in an hour.
No way.
Not for me. It's not for me. And so have a high quality job. I'm not saying that they didn't. I'm not saying that they didn't at all. Maybe they did. But for me and the way I operate, that's just not possible. But at the end of the day, the customer it doesn't care how long it took you within reason. They care how good of a job you did. And I don't want to have to explain to the customer, but I did it really fast. They don't care. But I did a really quality job and it took longer. Okay, now that's an argument that everybody's willing to hear. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good point.
I'll throw in some numbers on what we see. So we're always scheduling for our teams. And of course, we'll have faster people and slower people. Unless the measures tell us otherwise, we kind of estimate an hour per panel. So that corner unit, 3 panels, we estimate 3 hours. If it's got a transom up over the top of the door, then we'll call that a panel too, because it's a little harder to, get all the gaps just right and everything. So that's what we estimate. And we end up with usually like 3 jobs. We kind of put it that way. But some of them, it could be like we'll do those stupid accessories to toilet paper holders and towel bars. We don't like to, but if we're already out there doing a shower, and we'll do mirrors, so we'll do that. But everyone preps up front for their day. So they cut their metal in advance. We have their CPACs put together for them. So we try and have them all set up so that they're not having to do that on the job site. But yeah, I agree. More like 3 hours for and maybe someone's, our best guys will maybe do it in 2 hours. Maybe they'll get, horrible tile, or they're doing a, horrible pack in upstairs or something, who knows, but that's where we start.
So what's a seat pack?
Oh, sorry, construction pack. I don't know why it's called that, where you put together all your hardware that you're going to need. Because we buy it all, we do our own glass, so we buy it all separately. So we have to, go pull it off the shelf and put it together. Yeah. Someone called it.
I was going to ask the same thing. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So I'm guessing you probably have crews of 2.
Right. 2-man crews.
So you're talking about 6 hours for 3 panels, and that sounds like a reasonable amount of time to give somebody, I mean, and Adrian makes a good point about like drilling. The difficulty in drilling the tile will make or break your time. I mean, no question, because there's like, regular old ceramic tile that you can drill in about 2 minutes. And then there's some granite out there that like 20 minutes, 10 drill bits per hole. I mean, it happens from time to time, and there's just unavoidable. I mean, there's just no way to predict it. Now they make some pretty fancy tools that it's like some.
Give me subway tile all day long.
Yeah, right.
I don't like the look of it, but I'll drill it all day long.
The bad thing about that is it's also easy to crack. If it's soft to drill, it's also pretty easy to crack.
I haven't had that experience, but again, I don't do as many showers as you guys do either.
What experience haven't you had?
Quantity.
Yeah.
So the more quantity you do, the more times you're going to see issues pop up.
Yeah.
That was what I meant. Experience as far as installing showers. Again, I haven't done as many, but which probably taints my idea of how much time it takes. But I'm consistent with the 3 hours that Shannon was talking about. An hour per panel ish. So I may be slower than most, but I'm also probably more methodical than most. And I'm also probably, I won't say more detailed than most, because I would say that probably most people on this call are going to end up with nice gaps and, smooth across the top and all of that. It just depends on how quickly you're able to get there. Sometimes they all just fall into place, and sometimes I got to work for it,
Well, let's face it. I mean, if you're on this call, right, you're a nerd, okay? I mean, if you're like out installing shower doors during the day and at night on a call talking about shower doors, you probably excel at what you do.
Yeah, my wife, she gives me that look, like, what? All right, whatever. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I love my stuff. Hell yeah. And he goes, where you going? I'm going to the Glass Build America. What is that? Oh, I don't want the looks. I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, I love going to those things, man. I'm always online trying to figure out new tools and then new ways of doing things. But yeah, going back to, the install time, I don't know about you guys, but it all depends on the measurements too. If you got down, if you measure it right, get all is right in the glass, you put it on, you set it, and you don't have to move it, adjust it or nothing. That means a whole lot too.
Yeah.
You set it even with when it comes to the door, setting the door. If you got that, a lot of people like using the stock doors, which I hate stock doors because they, it's in their name. That's all you get. Like me, I like to customize everything. I don't care what it is, because when it comes to the door and you set it and you got it following the out of squareness on the bottom, you just set it, drill it, and you're done. Instead of having to, mess around with it, trying to make it work. I mean, I think it makes a whole difference how you measure too. At the end of the day.
What a segue! What a segue!
Uh-oh. Go
ahead.
I don't know if you guys read my post earlier, but there's a picture on there, and the stock door is super green. And then the custom panel is.
That was yours.
Oh yeah, buddy. That stinks. That stinks. We have like 45 stock doors from HMI Cardinal. And then we have all this custom glass from HMI Cardinal, and they aren't the same color. And
So where are they getting the stock doors from?
We asked them, and the guy we talked to didn't seem to know. So we don't know right now, but that's a tomorrow Christina problem, because we figured this out at 4:30 Eastern time today. So this is a tomorrow me problem, but I figured I'd ask you guys if you've seen this issue before.
No, but it makes perfect sense that that you run into that, right? I mean, now that she's mentioned it, because they're not always the same. They're not always the same color, are they?
I
differ
mean,
for
we've just
anything?
never had this issue, and I would think that it would be at least from the same supplier where HMI Cardinal is also supplying our custom glass, that would be like a quality control element. And that like we could not possibly be the first people
Mm-mm.
who have said something about this. I mean, it's the first shower door we've done with a stock door, and our customer was immediately like,
No.
nope, nope.
It was your
So-
first time and
So-
it happened.
Yeah. So, and now we have 45 of HMI Cardinal stock doors in our warehouse right
Wow.
now of various sizes. And I'm like, what do we do with that? Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to return all of them, figure out new stock doors. I have stuff on the calendar. Like, what are our guys gonna do? I guess we're just gonna roll with the punches and hope people don't notice. But then, like, from a business standpoint, just the quality of your own work, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put that in people's houses. Anyway, what would you guys do?
Did you talk to your
It makes
rep?
me,
Did
Go
you
ahead.
talk to your rep and see where they got their stock doors from? In other words, did they bring caseloads in with notches and holes already pre-drilled from some other source?
I'm sure of it. We called I don't know, we're pod 4 for HMI Cardinal, and we called them and talked to somebody in their office, and he didn't seem to know. So tomorrow I will call and do the whole thing, and can I speak to a manager and be polite, but oh my gosh, this is insane.
So you know what affects the color, right?
iron.
Iron content, I would assume.
Right. And the volume of that. So that means it's a source of sand. So it depends where the glass was made. So glass from South America is different than glass from Turkey, and it's different glass from domestic glass. It's all different sand, right? Which has different iron content. So every time you mix vendors, you run into that possibility. No different than when you mix vendors for your hardware. You want to bring in hinges from somebody else and handles. They don't match, especially in
Right.
brushed nickel. So the glass is the same thing. A low iron glass from Pilkington is different than a low iron glass from Guardian. It's just different. So you have to be extremely conscientious of that, extremely. So when you order your glass from HMI Cardinal, you have to tell them you're pairing it with a stock door, and let's see what they say.
Well, it sounds like she's getting the
It's
glass from all the glass from
theirs.
Cardinal, right?
It's
Right, but you
their
gotta tell them
stock
you're
door.
using it. Sure. So when you
Yeah.
order your panels, you tell them it's to match up with your stock doors that you got from that vendor.
Yeah, because
That's the problem.
it seems like it's their problem, right? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
if you're getting the glass, but you're right, Bill. I mean, I think that might be the thing of like, hey, by the way, this glass I'm ordering is going with one of those stock doors you sold me.
Keep in mind, I don't know how they sold it to you. I mean, they may have said, or it might be in their contract that, they don't guarantee color, or that, you're getting a good price for this, but they don't guarantee color match. Or
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you have to look at that contract. That may be part of the terms of the deal.
I don't want to say there are no terms, but I think that, they came off the same truck, right? Like at a certain, when we ordered 45 stock doors from them, there was no special contract. It was just, we submitted a PO to the email and they said, okay, they'll be here next week. And that was the contract. That was
All right.
and there's nothing in there of.
So
So it
let's go
could've been-
back. Let's go back and define the term stock doors then.
Okay.
Because some people call stock doors when you bring in case loads of the exact same size, same glass from them.
That's it.
What does that mean?
Yes, that's what she got.
What?
Cases of the same size door.
Okay, that's
Right.
perfect. Okay, now let's say HMI Cardinal buys glass from 3 different vendors. All right, so now you have to find out what vendor they brought their glass in from. Like, we'll bring in glass from different vendors, but if we're making a shower door, we're making sure that that person's shower doors all come from the same glass. That's the difference. Now, Christina, you may have that on 5 showers that don't have light color tile, and you'd probably never notice it. If it was a dark or a beige tile, you'd probably never see it.
Yeah.
But if you have a very light or a very light gray or a white tile, you're really going to notice it.
Right. Well, and Bill, did you see the picture?
I did. It's gorgeous. Is that the one with brush gold?
No, it's a different one.
Oh, no, I
It's
didn't
a-
see that one. I saw the brush gold one. It was beautiful.
I don't know if I
Very
can
nice.
post anything here, but oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It
Oh.
it
I
looks
think you
crazy.
can. I
I
think
saw
you
it.
can
It looks-
share your screen if you want.
So Christina, are your panels, are they set in channel?
No,
They're clips then? The fixed
Clips.
panel, was that set in channel or not?
no, it was not.
Okay, because we have a company out here that does the same thing. And they have a warehouse full of stock doors and panels that are all set in channel, so everything matches. But
Yeah,
This
and that's the
is-
big deal. So is this your first time, Christina, buying stock doors?
This is the picture, by the way. Clear difference.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. We usually get our stock. Well, we've gotten stock doors from two different vendors: Old Castle Building Envelope and Alimax.
Yeah.
And we've never had this problem before, ever.
You're-
It's
you're-
always been.
so
You're running into the same problem that a wallpaper or a paint color, dye lots, that type of thing. They're not coming out of the same batch. That's going to be a problem.
For
I don't know
sure.
how many doors you're going to have to replace to get it to match.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to return all of them
Maybe.
at this point. We pulled, so a couple of our guys got back early today and we pulled a couple of the stock doors just to check against some custom glass we had in the warehouse. We put it out in the sunlight and oh my gosh. I mean, I've got a ton of pictures. It's crazy different. It makes regular clear custom glass look low iron. Like
Wow.
somebody even asked on that if it was low iron. It's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring it up. I didn't know if anybody had seen this before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
no,
floored by this.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it. One of our competitors did a glass railing and then an elevator shaft in low iron. And
Wow.
they got the low iron from different companies. And one had a bluish cast and one had a greenish cast. But it's very light, like an aqua green, but definitely different. Definitely different. Then I've seen them go with 1/2 inch and 3/8, both low iron. And you can even see the difference there too, just because of the iron content in the different thickness. So when you change thicknesses, you'll see it. So a lot of these guys that'll use 1/2 inch panels and they'll hinge 3/8 door off of it, there's going to be a color difference. Can't help it. There's just more iron content in a thicker panel of glass.
We do that, but I've never had such a color difference and you're right, but it's been like within reason because it's coming
Right.
from the same place.
Yeah.
So it's been within, nobody's ever said anything about that. But most people are just worried about being able to tell the difference between the two thicknesses and they think that might be strange. But on my shower here at home, I have a 1/2 inch and a 3/8, so it's completely fine. So
I'm sorry, now that I told you, it's going to bother you.
no, that's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I will go look at it though. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure it won't bother me. I'm not one of our customers, you see. I'm not quite
Sorry.
that particular. But anywho, I just
I
wanted
feel
to
bad for
ask.
you. It's a tough challenge you're going to have now because that customer is going to be very conscientious of whatever you put back now. 'Cause
Well,
that's
they're
gonna
gonna
be-
make us a custom door, and we can live. This customer will be fine, and it will end up being fine. It'll cost us the labor and the trip and whatever, but their HMI is going to replace the
That's good.
glass, which is nice, and we'll be able to get through this one. And we've definitely been through worse. But just now, 45 doors. What do I do with that? Just have somebody spend half a day loading them back up on a truck and send them back? Like that's well, not half a day, but that's exhausting. That's ridiculous.
Sure. It's sad for them as the supplier also because they're going to have to deal with that. I mean, they're going to have to deal with receiving it back, and then they have to be careful who they sell it to next.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
not the
that
only
you're not
one.
the only customer who's
that's
having these
right.
Right. Right.
And I'm really glad that you're bringing this up, because that is a great thing to consider. You know, if somebody is thinking about, hey, I could save some money, by buying a bunch of stock doors,
Well,
which
Alimax has the
Right.
cheapest stock doors in all the land right now, but the problem with Alimax is we go pick them up and our guys have to load them up themselves and bring them back to the shop. They're usually scratched to high heaven. They're usually, a lot of times they don't even have them. Alimax has a system where you have to pull full orders. You can't pull partials. So if you order, say, 15 stock doors and they only have 10, they won't let you take any. Like, it's the most, they are the most ridiculous supplier on the planet. If anybody has to deal with Alimax, like, stupid.
Change your order to 10 so you can pick up a full order.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. If you place an order, they're not going to process it for probably about 2 days. And if it's not processed in Arkansas, the guys in the DC, where our guys are standing there staring at them right there, are not going to let them pull the doors anyway. So we'll have guys standing there trying to pull doors, and the warehouse managers won't allow them to. And then it gets way worse. Their credit card processor won't allow them to add new credit cards, and ours has expired. So they can't bill us. So we have tens of thousands of dollars of stuff on order from them, and they can't even process the payment. So they won't let the guys leave with any product. Does anybody use Alimax? Because it is literally the worst thing in the world.
No, I'm in California. I don't have to worry about that.
We're spoiled out
Almost
here.
never.
it seems like I've heard of them somewhere, but
They stopped.
So,
Yeah,
I
heard of it.
Vendors
had a
can't keep
I had
up.
a guy that used to work for me. He's from Arkansas, and he told me about them before.
They are the worst, everything in the world. I mean, I hate to be this person who's coming on here and just trashing them, but they have cost us so much money, you guys. I can't even express to you.
why do you keep ordering from them?
Well, there you go. Do you not have another option?
Our only other
Oldcastle.
option for stock doors is Oldcastle, and their prices are so much higher that it still makes sense to get stock doors
Really?
from Alimax. Yeah, but
Oh,
I
man.
mean, and I just don't even. I'm at a loss. Where do you all get your stock doors? I'll stop talking.
Oldcastle. I get everything from Oldcastle. They're pretty reasonable
Yeah, well,
out here.
I have a question. I don't order any stock doors, but my question to those of you that do, what is the main reasoning, I guess, behind you ordering stock doors? Is it just to keep the stock and have them on hand immediately? Is it
Price.
so you can bring the prices down of your overall enclosure? Okay.
Is it worth it in the long run though?
100%?
Because
In my
What's the
opinion.
difference in price?
oh,
I've worked at multiple glass shops in different states, and stock doors have never, ever been worth it. They're always a waste of money because you can only use them in certain circumstances. And you might as well just eat the cost and cut the door to fit the wall. And then it has something that's beautiful and it's going to last and fit than the alternative of, oh, you saved $100 on a stock door.
of course, all tile guys are perfect. The walls are straight and square.
That's why I said cut it out of square.
Yeah, right.
Brian,
So-
let me clarify a little bit or define what you're talking about stock doors, because I assume everybody's assuming that it means 2 hinge notches and a handle. But I mean, I've got 6 different sizes of stock doors for sliders. So are you not considering sliders? Because there's a whole difference for carrying that, because you get them immediately. You can turn it around quickly. It's not always about cost. It's keeping it in stock. So if you've got a tub, 5-foot tub, it's 64 and 70. So you've got 30-inch panels by whatever your height ends up being. And then you got stalls that maybe you want to keep 65, 70, 76, and 78 in height. And you have panels for those. That's really not about a cost. It's just about having it available so you can sell them like that.
Sell them and get them scheduled and get them in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's not to reduce
Absolutely.
my price to the
Well-
customer. It's that I'm investing a lot of money to get them good service and turn it around quick. So it'd be our benefit to have it.
I guess from the standpoint of the difference in design being a sliding, whether it be a barn door or, you know, a single slider type of style, that to me, I guess, makes more sense
Yeah.
than a stock hinged door. You know, kind of like the other woman was saying, like cutting a door out of square, where a stock door is just going to be just a rectangular piece of glass. And if that wall is a 1/4 inch out or 3/8 out, you know, and you're just throwing that door up there, you're going to have an uneven gap. And I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be arguably the difference between a frameless shower door versus a custom frameless shower door. I mean, I guess you could technically make that argument.
Let's drill a little deeper, Brian. You can order cases of them cut out of square. You can bring in, let's say your standard door is 28 wide. You can tell them you want a 28 1/4 at the top and 28 at the bottom. You can bring in cases of out of square. And how much, I mean, do you cut every door a 16th out of square?
No.
A 16th? No, I won't cut a 16th
An
out.
eighth? What's your limit? An eighth, the 3/16?
An eighth, I'll do an eighth.
Okay, so you could bring a 28 and an eighth and a 28. You could bring in a caseload of that. And you could turn them upside down if the bottom's wider than the top. So there's a benefit in doing that.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah.
You got to have
Especially
the
if you're
volume
doing-
to do it.
And it depends on the volume.
Yeah.
If you're doing
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
volume, then I can totally imagine that being.
Oh,
worthwhile.
sure, it would make sense then as
I
well.
mean, Tom Whitaker's
Yeah.
got a warehouse
Space
of
for it, too.
out of squares.
Yeah.
You know, another thing about buying cases of stock doors from overseas, their beveling is not the same as ours.
Well, you just changed it when you said overseas. You don't have.
I mean,
to buy
not
it from
overseas. I mean, like we have a company, they buy from overseas.
okay, that's
So
different.
if you buy a panel from our regular supplier, the polishing is not as good.
Absolutely. Every time you change manufacturers, something's
Who is
different.
this company, Tim? Is this WBS?
Well, WBS, they sell
Yeah.
stock doors and panels.
Yeah.
But if you ordered a stock door and you need a custom sized panel, and they'll get it from probably, I don't know where they get it from.
We get it from Old Castle.
Yeah, but the polishing won't be the same.
No.
So Tim, in a way, you're kind of running into the problem Christina had.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
instead of a color problem, you got an edge work problem.
Right. I mean, I don't do that. I'm just saying that's what you'll get.
Yeah, and you'll have a different bug on each panel of glass too.
Yeah.
So
One's gonna be one supplier, one's gonna be anher supplier.
how long
Seems like-
how long does it take for you guys to get a unit? Because for me, I mean, keeping doors in stock doesn't make no sense because I can get a shower unit from Old Castle in 2 days.
Me
No
too.
problem.
I get it.
So it doesn't make 2 days. Yeah, I get a shower. Yeah, if I order
Yeah.
one,
Me too.
So it's not a lead. Okay, first of all,
Wow.
it's not a lead time
Quick.
thing for us, like at all. It's a cost thing. So like a stock door from Alimax might cost $80, whereas a custom door cut out of square, an eighth from Old Castle costs $180. That's a big difference, and that adds up when you're doing, say, let's say you have 1,000 showers a year. 50% of them could use a stock door, let's just say. So 500 showers, and you've got $100 of savings on 500 showers.
but you're not paying for that. The customer is though.
Pardon?
But you're not paying for it. The customer is though, right? Paying $180.
Yeah, but like how much more business are you going to get because you can use a stock door because your price is lower than the Chuck in a Truck or the other
Yeah.
company that they got a price from, when on average your customers are getting 3 quotes.
But
You
how
know.
often do the stars have to be aligned to
guess
use
it's
that
different
stock
looking right
door
now.
and it be the perfect, like, or you're doing like
And
a
you're
panel
totally-
panel just to use the stock door instead of like hinging off the wall because you can't, because you're not cutting it out.
Right. We're not going to like reinvent the wheel to use a stock door by any means. Like, we're not going to do any of that just to use a stock door. But we in our area have encountered enough, renovations with great tile work or whatever the case may be, new construction, I don't know, anything, that we have enough reason to buy stock doors. I mean, we literally use stock doors on 50% of our jobs. And
Oh, wow.
it's,
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot. And it's not, I mean, we're not just generously using them for no reason. Like, if it needs to be cut out, I'm going to cut it out. But I mean, I'll use a stock door up to a 16th. Yeah.
But Christina, what you didn't say is we're quoting as if everything's custom for the most part. All right.
Okay.
So
okay. Yes and no.
kind of.
Yes and no, kind of. We can discount deeper if we're using a stock door. And that seems to go a longer way in our market than it does. It just seems to go a much longer way in our market because customers are looking for discounts. They're not looking for the cheapest. They want discounts. They want high price, big discount, great value. That's what that equals for them in our market. I don't know about everybody else.
Christina, it's that way in every market. It really is. Think about it. But you've got to sell your value and not get too wrapped up in that price. As a consumer, I'm buying stuff for my home all the time. It really, a $100 or $200 swing doesn't matter that much to me. It matters is, can you do it? And will I be happy with it at the end of the day? Do I have somebody to call? That $100 or $200, it's insignificant. It really is.
It's not in our market. It's not. And I'll tell you why. I mean, we have so much competition in Atlanta.
Well,
there's so much
the people that are taking the $100 difference or $150, they were going to go with the cheapest price, regardless of your quality or anything. They were searching for the cheapest price.
But having the cheapest price is a strategy, and it may not be like my strategy,
right?
But it is a strategy, and that's one of the awesome things about like this group is because there is somebody that represents just about every market and just about every sales technique and just about every way. And this is kind of cool because this is something that I've heard of, that I've considered the idea of doing, have decided not to, myself personally, because, I'm very unique in my position and my approach. Right. So, but it's really cool to hear people hash this out because it helps me kind of get an insight into what the pitfalls are and that sort of thing. And I want to everybody say hi to Lauren. I don't think you've ever been on this call, have you?
No,
I know we've been on calls together.
Yes.
In the past, I can't remember what we were doing.
I'm in the shower door. I'm writing the installation guide with you.
Okay, that's what it is. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks.
Why don't you should introduce yourself and talk a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, I actually work for Bid Clips currently, which I don't know if you guys have seen that post. We work in the background of the websites. But I worked at L&L Glass in Denver, which they only do frameless shower doors. So they don't do windows, auto. They only do interior glass. And then I moved to Minneapolis and I did work for Minneapolis Glass for a short term, figuring, so just creating all the drawings and ordering hardware and stuff like that. And so then I transferred to Big Clips when the pandemic happened because I don't know, lots of reasons, but right. I'm only 32, but I've been doing this for 10 years. So I don't know how I got here, but it's a long time.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you decided to come on in.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you can work for Jim Evans, then you're good.
Right?
I don't work for him.
if you can put up with him.
We'll tell him you said so.
An interesting fellow, but a good one. I stayed with him in his wife last year, and that was quite the adventure when I went to Montana.
I bet.
And my daughter just moved to Montana.
It's beautiful.
Billings.
And Jim and his wife have 2 young daughters, I'm sure. So that must have been really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yep.
Yeah, but back to your stock shower doors, why I don't use them. I never, when I put hinges on, I don't do 8 inches up, 8 inches down.
Mhm.
I'll pick the center of the tile and put the hinge.
I love that.
And because who would want to see a shower door with a hinge a 1/4 inch above the grout line and the bottom one 3/4 below the grout line? So I always, and you can't tell the difference. It's just looking at the stall, the hinge is in the center of the tile. That's what I always do.
See, that's what I'm talking about, right?
That's a
I mean,
huge
is
point.
that
Custom.
unique? How many people here do that? Right
Not me.
on. All right,
Not all the
cool.
time.
Yeah.
Nothing to think about more now. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I can see a benefit for that, and here's why: because you can keep yourself from hitting grout lines.
Yeah.
Why would you
hitting,
want to?
you know,
Why would you want to ruin somebody's nice shower with the hinges 3/4 above grout line? And it's,
Great point. Great point.
Well,
I
they
think you
probably-
just changed the way I do it, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the point where you do the exact opposite when you've got that glass tile and you're trying to figure out how to get your
And-
Just run.
in
Just
the-
run.
and all the tiles aren't even. So if you're crossing
I
the
know.
grout line, you could be cocking the hinge.
Mhm.
Or putting spacers or something ugly.
Yeah, so that's
That
that's
Shannon,
Shannon-
don't get me started on glass tiles. I'm dealing with that. I've been
Oh, I
dealing with
know.
a one shower for weeks.
Shannon,
It's a
we
nightmare.
dealt with the glass tile, and all you do is you draw out where your hinge is, and you have the tile guy cut that out.
Yeah.
So you're
I
not
did that.
so you're not mounting on the glass, you're mounting to the Durock behind it. And
Yeah,
then
I
let 'em
actually,
tile up to it.
And in round 2, I guess I'm on now, I drew around my hinge, took the door off, and put they came in, took the tiles off. I remounted back plates, so that I could mount to the back plates. It was all fine and good until they tiled right up to the edge of my back plates. And so when I took the screws out to put my hinges on top, the plate moved, cracked the tiles again. I'm like, guys, you can't tile right up to the edge of it. It's going to move.
Right.
So I took the door off again. I remounted everything, and I drew a 1/4 inch around. And I said, don't tile up to that 1/4 inch outside, because if my hinge plate hits your tile, it will crack, and I can't keep doing this. So, and I told them, don't use grout. Use some kind of colored silicone, because I don't want anything putting pressure, like hard, like grout, putting pressure on it. So just use silicone that's going to move with temperature and with just movement of the door. Don't lock me in, because you're killing me.
Don't box me in, man.
That's where you should probably go ahead and use the pivot hinges.
Yes.
Well, depends. I don't have a header, and so if
But
that's
use the
good
wall
on the
mount
bottom,
pivot
but
hinge.
not on the top. But on the
Use-
top, it's still going to have the same problem.
Right, but you only have 2 holes. Over drill the holes so that they're not, so when
I
you put
do.
the screws aren't too tight.
Yeah, you make a good point, because I wouldn't have to make it as tight to the wall. So I'll concede that point, but I still don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
That's what we do.
to
Anytime
the
there's
tile.
glass tile, we just use the pivot hinge, the wall mount type. FHC has the ones, I think we talked about it in one of the meetings, where you just flip the bracket over if it's to make it a left hand versus a right hand. So,
Yeah.
We still, I mean, we have the same problems with glass tile though, too. I mean,
yeah.
it's such a bear.
no, I'll drill the
And
hole out.
this is one of those customers too.
I'll drill the hole and shove the plug in past the glass tile, so there's no expansion on the tile. And that seems to work.
Mhm.
That's a good idea. So the
Yeah.
plug kind of sticks out just a little bit.
Well, you shove it in
Yeah.
Half
behind the
one.
tile, so when you screw the screw in, it's not expanding the
Exactly.
The problem is you still have to pull that that hinge plate back down to the tile.
Well, you do that by hand.
That's
You don't
right.
do it- you don't do it with an impact gun.
There's some
But-
glass tile though that it is physically impossible to drill a hole into it without it breaking, because they've actually colored the back of it and then heat treated it to bake on the color. And that heat treating, it's like half tempered. And
Yeah.
so it's not going to allow you to drill. And, you know, I get people that are like, well, just, you know, drill really slowly. And I'm like, come on. No.
Yeah, use a sharp drill bit, they tell me.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me. Those guys
We
are
have
so
a
I
lady-
had
smart.
that experience.
I had
Oh,
some
I'm
lady
taking
wanted
taking
me to
notes
follow the
here.
grout line in a glass tile. And I said, no way. I'll blow
The
that
what?
completely apart.
Well, that's what we usually do, try and hit a grout line.
Yeah.
In
At
glass,
least part of
glass
it.
tile?
And then I'll say, then I'll drill below, and wherever that cracks, that's where you know that you need to create another grout line, and then we'll come back.
There you go. Well, you
Or you're just like, it cracks.
Well,
Do
hey,
you
I'm
like
not saying
it?
We had a glass tile job. We had to go back to 3 times. The first 2 times were because the tile was already cracked when we walked in the room. We looked down and we're like, you got a cracked tile. Do you want to fix that before we install? They fixed it. Another tile cracked. And I'm going, what kind of shower is this? We can't even, I mean, we haven't even entered the room and things are cracking.
You just looked at it and cracked.
Oh yeah, glass tile. I love that stuff. Oh my gosh.
What's fun?
you know, my secret to drilling to glass tile is the circular glass bit. I always
Like a
get it
diamond
by-
cord drill, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I drill a 5/16 hole, and then I plug it with a 1/4-inch anchor, and it works all the time, and it's big enough where it will not break.
That's
the
the key. As long as you
Mhm.
don't tighten the hinge too tight to the wall,
Yep.
which
Yep, and
that
then
can be
all
the next problem.
and also what you do is, you know, the when you do like glass or you know, the big glass clips that
Like the offset, like G,
the offset, yeah.
the
So I
GE 90 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
so I
190.
keep a lot of the leftover like gaskets and stuff, because then I'll
Yeah.
put that behind a clip or a hinge.
That's a
and
good
I'll-
idea.
And I'll
That's
and
a
I'll,
good idea.
and I'll soften it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we've done that.
and I
before.
use that, and it works all the time.
Those are 2 really good ideas.
Those are good.
First of all, start out by drilling a 5/16 hole. That way, if the screw moves a little bit, you know, it's just, you know, it's not going to come up against the tile and crack.
You got enough, and it'll still grab. I guarantee it'll work all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll bet. And then also, you could probably use a blue plug, right? In a 5/16 hole, even. you
Yeah,
know.
blue plug. Yep.
And then use a gasket behind the hinge plate.
Yeah,
Some kind of soft, some kind of
it does.
yeah.
Do it all the time.
Isn't that gasket though creating movement because it's not tight against the tile?
No.
No, actually, those gaskets create a bit of a seal. They actually grab when they
Like
tighten.
a friction.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, when you open the door, isn't the hinge wanting to do one of these because it's on the soft background?
Not the gaskets he's talking. He's talking about those clear,
Those clear ones, they're
plastic
pretty stiff.
gaskets that come with
The harder one.
90.
Okay.
And
I
yeah,
got you.
those actually kind of create almost like an
Suction.
adhesion, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know
like,
what you're talking about.
it adds like a friction to it, and they're big enough
Yeah.
that they cover enough of the back of the angle of the clip,
Right.
where you don't get that teeter, that movement.
Yeah. But luckily, I don't run into a lot of glass tile. So,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I've got another question unless when we're off of this topic, but can I bring something up?
Go.
water spots on glass. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I had one today that was really quite unique. I've never encountered this. Been doing this for eons and always run into something new. It looks like glass that's been on a frame shower door for 30 years. It's pitted. It seems to be pitted. It looks like water spots all over the glass. I'm wondering if it can be polished.
No.
Does anybody have any experience with that? And by the way, we did like, I don't know, 3 or 4 shower doors for this lady. It's only
5.
the master. And I'm sure she has put something caustic on her shower or something acidic or caustic. I don't know, but just want to find out what you guys have encountered.
How
Show
old
them the
is it?
pictures.
How
What
old
kind
is
of
it?
coating are you using?
It's 1 year old.
Wow.
What coating did you use?
There's no coatings to the best of my knowledge. Christina, did you look that up?
There's no Enduro Shield, there's no Clear Shield, and it's not shower guard glass. It's just 3/8 regular clear. We installed it in
Is it
April of last year.
Can you only see it when it steams up, or is it
Always.
always?
Always. And it's bad.
So I
You
have
have
It's
the
a,
even on the
pictures?
hardware. I mean, it's evident. The discussion rings for the valves, everything. And but you know, she kept saying, "Well, I don't put anything on it that's not safe." You know,
Does she have a cleaning crew that comes in?
somebody,
No, she doesn't. She does her own.
It's just the one shower. You guys have done a bunch of showers, but it's just the one piece of glass or whatever the shower.
No, it's the whole shower. It's the master. It's the whole shower.
But it's not happening in the rest of the bathrooms.
No.
It sounds like a plumbing issue.
Is
No.
it on the tile?
no,
Okay, back up there, Chris.
Sounds like the
Plumbing.
pipes. Sounds like the pipes in that bathroom. If it's not happening in the rest of the house, it's only
Okay.
happening in one bathroom. It sounds like her pipe. There's something in her pipes.
Maybe they're getting poop water instead.
I,
Maybe they
Because,
got it crossed.
All right, so Brian, I've run into this where the homeowner says they're not using anything that's harmful and they've used Tilex.
Yeah,
Tilex is acidic and its label says it's safe, but it's not.
right.
And it damages the metal as much as it does the glass because it's extremely acidic.
I've got a lady right now that I'm doing a door and panel for, and her other shower, her house cleaner put on what, bar helper?
Barkeepers,
Barkeepers on it.
Oh,
which is
And
great. Great product for your
But-
pans.
it ruined the glass.
For your fans.
Hmm.
Right.
I mean, same thing.
Can it be polished? Is it
No.
even worth?
No,
I would
that's
just
It's in the
Revised it.
pores. If you haven't sealed the glass, it's in the pores.
it's
You
like, you know,
No, it's not even worth
Okay.
it.
it's
All
like
right.
painting the Grand Canyon. It's, you know,
It'd be
Yeah.
cheaper and less time to just get new glass than
yeah.
to try anything even worthwhile
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
For reference, I'm gonna send you guys a picture of this shower though, because this is so sad.
You're
It's so
kidding.
upsetting.
I'm going to show them that.
Yes, it's upsetting. She's destroyed this gorgeous shower.
Maybe
It's
that's where you
stunning.
can, maybe that's where you can use your stock door.
Well, you can look.
Oh.
You can look forward to her doing it.
Okay, all right.
Clowns!
You know
Gods
what?
are fire.
I've been using these stock doors for 11 years
10
now.
years.
And this is unique because it's just we tried a different company. Okay. Never have had this problem before. One advantage to stock doors is if, let's say you install a shower and there's a scratch, well, we have another door for it. We can come right out same day, put it in. You know, I just remember one time we broke a door. When I first started this business, we broke a door. And what was cool is it was a stock door and I could get another one real quick and real cheap. It was a simple solution. So there is an advantage. And that was just one thing that, you know, I just wanted to say to kind of be the devil's advocate, if you will. So.
I don't see the stain on the door. I'm looking at it in the chat and it looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That's when we first installed it.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say, I don't see a problem.
Oh, Christina.
Yeah, that
okay.
doesn't help us.
It
I'm
doesn't
really
help.
sad that I don't have the pictures. You have the pictures.
Well,
but
I'd
I'm
have to
really
show them
sad.
on my phone.
It's a
That's
nice
horrible, but I'll try it. But well, here's a
It's-
good
Nice looking
picture of
shower.
it.
We can share the screen.
I don't know if you can see it very well.
Here, let me spotlight you.
No,
Ooh, that looks
Oh my
terrible.
a little close to the
Yeah, it's a little
lens.
close.
Pull it
Back-
back like half an inch.
Wait a little bit.
Just
Oh,
back
you
it
want
up
me
a
to-
little bit.
Ah,
Ah,
on the floor.
God.
back a little.
Back.
Back.
No,
The other
towards
back.
you.
There you go. No, the other. Yeah,
Towards
your
away.
face.
Away.
Towards your face. Away.
Yeah,
Towards
yeah. You're not getting it. Okay.
Wow.
see that?
Show them the black hardware with it. The clamp. That's the best one. Sorry, it's really bad, you guys.
So the clamp is discolored?
Yes,
also?
the trim
No,
kit. all
actually,
of it.
it has spots on it. Here's one where there's the hinge on the bottom. I don't know if you can see this.
Back. Yeah.
Is the bottom one worse than the top? The
Oh,
bottom?
that's hard to tell.
Yeah, it is, but not the top even is a problem.
I think they're spraying something on it. That's
I
causing
do
that.
too. Yeah, I do too.
Even my customer, it
Oh,
was,
here's a better picture.
was the
so
bottom
you
half
can
of the
really,
glass.
this one you can really see. If I don't know if they can.
No.
No, I
No.
can't tell
Well,
the
not really. It's bad. It's really
I
bad.
don't know if this would help, but what would happen if you took the plates off where they haven't sprayed or where it hasn't gotten to?
To see
Would
the
it be-
difference, like a before and after, you mean?
Yeah, would it be nice clear glass underneath?
Yeah,
the hinge
it would
plate?
be. I'm certain of that. There was a sweep or seal that was taped on the side, and it's even on the edges. You can see on the edge of the glass where it has the same stuff, and then where the tape was, it's clear like brand new.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
well, you
I-
need
Yeah,
to
they're
go
putting
into her
something on it.
cleaning closet and see what she has.
exactly.
Well, that's a good point. Okay, so
Exactly.
what I did is I took pictures of everything, including all the stuff on her shower seat inside the shower.
Okay.
And there was a cleaner that's caustic.
So it sounds like she's trying
Yeah,
to blame you
lime
guys for
away.
this.
It's also a year
Is that
later.
right?
She had lime away. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
took pictures of all this so that if she
Yeah.
wants to berate us on social media for our bad glass.
For Christina.
Bad
Yeah.
glass.
I'm
you
just
put it-
so upset.
Why'd you
because
put
she
it in
called-
like that?
Right.
Yeah, right. Why did we
Well,
put it in that way?
He called our receptionist all up in arms, our sweet angel receptionist, Anna, all up in arms, saying she's been trying to contact us for 8 months.
Oh,
Are you joking? We don't have a missed call from you. We don't have an email from you. We don't have anything. We have nothing. We don't have a Nextdoor, a Facebook, a Yelp. We don't have anything.
And we answer phones instantly.
Maybe she meant telepathically.
Maybe she's calling one of you guys, another shower door company from across the country. Like if this
Shower guy
lady's-
in Canada.
There's a
Not that
shower door
before.
guy in Canada and one
Oh,
in
Canada.
California.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let us know.
She could have even called any other glass company and thought it was you in
Which is-
Atlanta.
So
Yeah.
Gotten that
upsetting. We
before?
did 5 showers for this woman. I mean, I'm just from an office standpoint, I'm very frustrated. But thank you, Dad, for going out and in person dealing with this baloney.
Well,
That's
and
my
if this-
job. I'm the gopher.
Yeah.
If this
So
is her master, then she must be using it way more than her other showers too. I
Yeah.
mean,
She
if
says, well,
can-
the kids, she has young kids and they're all using the other showers, but she's not really cleaning the other showers.
Mhm.
Obviously, she's cleaning hers all the time. I think she's just spraying stuff on there and leaving it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Did you say you installed 4 showers at the same time?
5.
5. And the
Yeah.
other ones are fine. The glass all came from the same place.
Yes.
I mean, that's a clear indicator right there that
That's been
something
the
is
stock
different.
choice.
It wasn't the glass.
The hardware and the trim kit and every
Yeah.
single aspect of this shower is just wrecked by whatever
Yeah.
she's using.
Yeah.
But
But
not
you're
in the other
assuming-
showers.
We're now assuming she's a rational human being, which
That's
mean-
your wrong move. She's a customer.
I've never run them.
He's a consumer. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you going to do? I mean, ultimately, are you going to try to warranty this, or is it going to get into a little bit of a battle over that? I mean,
I think
Those are
the best thing to
challenging.
do is explain to her in a nice email and highlight these pictures of her hardware and everything, and just say, hey, you know, I'm not trying to make money off of this. I'm willing to do something. I just want to absorb my costs. You know, maybe does that make sense? Would that be something that you guys would say would be a fair thing to do?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you may be running into this 4 more times with this one.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I wouldn't want you to do it 5 times.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I would draw the line. Of course, that could be part of my email presentation to say, hey, you know, obviously this shower has had some damage, and you know, and kind of advise them on cleaning, and that, you know, we wouldn't be able to repeat this process.
Because really legally, when you set a precedent
Mhm.
by doing it one time, you actually legally committed
Yeah.
to doing that,
Sure.
no matter what you put into an agreement.
Well,
You know,
and regardless, nobody warranties the glass anyway.
Yeah.
So like,
No.
even if it happened the next day, you would, or not within a month, you'd be out the glass cost, but you would probably swap it out. But because it's a year later, you can use that to your advantage.
Sure.
And, you know, and that you, regardless, we, you know, cover workmanship and the hardware warranty, but glass is just not covered under warranty, period, from the manufacturer, from you, unless it's like a, you know, rare circumstance and choosy, but this doesn't seem like it falls under there.
Yeah.
Brad, were you able to get her to kind of talk her down off the ledge and
Yes.
talk and have a good conversation?
Yes. I mean, she was pretty calm. You know, at first she wasn't. She was, you know, going on and on and on about the problem and everything else. But I showed her all the hardware and everything. I explained to her.
Mhm.
And I told her that, you know, I want her to be a happy customer. I'd do what I could do. And I'd even talk to you guys in the meeting tonight to see what your suggestions are and that sort of thing. But
So
I'll just
is
get
her,
back with her.
is her shower valve discolored also?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I took pictures of it. It doesn't look discolored, but it looks like there's some little white spots, kind of like on the glass, white
Yeah.
spots.
It's all
What
got
about the
like a
tile?
calcium.
Yeah, it's something that was sprayed on for sure.
she's-
And it's
she's got
affected
something
more
back
than the shower door. It affected the hardware and her plumbing and things like that.
Yeah.
And she doesn't spray it in the kids.
How about the shower walls?
Well, if it's meant
No,
for
the
stone
tile-
and tile, it's gonna be fine.
Tile looked fine for the
Yeah.
most part. However, I did notice, okay, she has quartz on the knee wall caps, which looked okay, but the quartz on the very bottom, I ran my fingers on it and you could feel kind of a texture that
Well, yeah.
mimicking the texture of the glass.
Could
Yeah,
be
so she's-
etching in.
They sprayed it with
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Brian, you know what you can try, because we had success with this when people were using Tilex. There's an 800 number on the bottle. So if you find out that that's Lime Away or whatever it is, call the 800 number, tell them that you have a customer that used that product. That's what they're experiencing. They may have an insurance claim and the customer may get paid. You'll get paid.
Hmm.
It'll be done. They're a big company and they may just pay that claim.
I
We've
could
had,
suggest
we've
that.
had success with that with Tilex and they pay it.
Mhm.
Great
And I
advice.
And I think the
That's
customer would
crazy
be in
that
agreement with
that
that.
works.
It
Yeah.
does work.
Yeah, that's great advice. Because if you could do that, you'll end up being the hero.
It's a win for everybody.
Yeah.
Her,
Mhm.
you, and
Yeah.
they'll pay it.
Well,
because-
she's denying she used anything like that, you know, so now I have to call her out on it.
Well, she might change her mind if, like, you can get her, you know,
Yeah.
suddenly remember, oh, wait, maybe I did use that one.
maybe she didn't. Her husband did.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
The
one
other
of the
one
kids.
did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the
Give
kids
her
were
that
cleaning.
out. Give her that
Yeah.
out.
You know how those kids are always
I had
cleaning
it.
stuff.
I had a try, Brad.
So does she end up claiming that you installed faulty glass that has a spontaneous spotting element to it?
Yeah, right.
Well, in essence, I think that's probably correct. That the glass
Yes.
isn't the same glass, but she is claiming that we did put in a better grade of glass in there, opposed to the other showers. I think we quoted her other products, but she went with the standard. So
We quoted her low iron glass and she decided not to go with it.
Good
I
thing.
remember
huh?
this vividly.
And how long has the shower been in there?
Since April of 2021.
yep, a year.
A little more than a year.
Yep.
All right, you guys.
Sounds like
We've
clean
gone a
water.
little long, but I was having so much fun I couldn't end it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. And
Yeah.
Good luck.
Hey, we're going to be excited to hear like how that worked out for you next week.
Yeah, good luck.
Come
Good
back
luck
and
with
tell us.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're here next week, we want to find out.
And I
Right.
want to see,
All
I
right.
still want to see Adrian's Apex logo, the new
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, if you guys can send me pictures if you want to like show them to the group, and I'll share my screen and show photos and stuff.
I
All
got
all
it.
right.
All right.
See you
Very
guys.
good.
All right.
All right, guys.
See you next week.